brief one, just a quick rebuttal. The point that Kenyan lady is bringing out about some people in the diaspora supporting the presidency, especially in the US, those are tenderpreneurs. We have the local manufacturing where we don't have those companies. It's because they've cut deals out there with the people who want to bring in those to come in to, set up those companies. But as we wait, are they going to be fast enough? So yes, we know that there are people who support not just the presidents, but the current administration because of corruption. That's the unfortunate thing. And so if you look even at the past voting results of the diaspora, you know the trend how it went. That's the reason why even the current government and the last government do not want to have diasporans actually vote, because they know that if diasporans would vote and even register, we would be really a force to reckon with. So yes, thanks for being very honest and talking about that. But I must also reassure you that even here in Germany, the tenderpreneurs are always just lying low. They can never speak up. At this point, I would like to have a diaspora who supports UDA or Kenya Kwanza come in and say, guys, I support them because of ABC. No, they will disappear. The only time you will see them is when the president is going to the US. As we speak, there's somebody who's even used their credit card to pay for Kenya Kwanza. He's not been paid. He's crying. But who the hell pays for a government? What were you buying? And actually, at this point, I'm going to tell the government not to pay back that money, because there's something he was buying, honestly. Yeah. And that, yeah. So that is the point. So those who are, when there's an injustice happening, it's just because they are profiting from the regime. That's the chiming in I wanted to put out there. Kingsman, whom did you cue next? And then I see Jerotich is back. Welcome on board. Kingsman? Yeah.
I think Jerotich can go, because you had told you had given her the mic, and then after Jerotich, Rokio, and then Honorable Nyeko, Professor Obert, and then you can give also Neto the mic. Now that you have been
Jerotich, over to you, and welcome to the space.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yeah, we can hear you.
Great stuff. Thank you. Mine, first of all, thank you for this space. It's been great to be doing a lot of listening. This past month, I have listened and learned a lot. And I don't have very much to say, just three quick points that I'd like to make. First of all, in memoriam, all of those 51 plus Kenyans who have died in this cause, we want to remember them. We want to honor their memory. We never want to forget them until justice is served, because this justice delayed is justice denied, and we're not seeing any justice. I want to agree with General Miguna Miguna when he says focus must be single-minded. If we straddle multiple agendas and follow conspiracies down various rabbit holes, we will be systematically picked out and picked apart. And this is what we are already seeing. You cannot ask someone, in this particular case, President Ruto, who has refused to implement the Constitution, to behave in a lawful manner. In fact, today when he spoke out in Bomet, when you hear him speak like that, to change public opinion and begin to actually nod in agreement when our young people are killed, picked out and shot dead. Dada Mkawasi, you said a while ago, not on this particular space, that we need to understand and know our mission, wherein our ideals lie, and thereafter our strategies and our tactics. And in this particular case, I'm fully with Dr. Miguna Miguna when he says Ruto must go. If we say we want to do this, reject the recycled CSS, do this, do that, we're going to have a litany of requests and woes, and we're expecting somebody who has refused to implement the Constitution except extremely selectively to behave in a lawful manner. So we must stick to the mission that Ruto must go. Now, I just also want to say that brutality is on the rise. I walked alongside LSK last Monday, tracking the illegal arrests and seeing what happened to our young people. The snail pace of this injustice system is utterly, utterly shocking. And the sheer brutality of the crackdown really completely, amazed me. And I said, this regime is nowhere near stopping. And in fact, all of those 109 Gen Zs who are charged with being drunk and disorderly, for heaven's sake, I looked at them and I said, these are our children. I'm the mother of Gen Zs. And I say they have been beaten. They were limping. They were struggling. There was this one young lady, Nadia, who had been beaten half to death. How do you go ahead and hurt our children like this? And this regime absolutely does not care. And I spent the following day with them, and I spent, time just listening to them and realizing these are not the criminals, the anarchists, all of this rubbish that is being put on them. And we have to find a way as the wider Kenyan community, because this is not a Gen Z struggle, to get involved. Because these 109 who are charged, who will be back again in court on the 30th of July, who will once again get caught up in this system of injustice, will eventually get tired. We cannot also allow our Gen Zs to be used as fodder for police bullets. And this is linked now to my final comment, which is the intergenerational nature of this struggle has not yet come to bear. We have started to coalesce on social media like we do here, but we are not yet on the streets. And I'm speaking as a Gen Xer, and also the baby boomers who are still able to be on the streets, and the early millennials. We have abrogated our responsibilities. And we need this critical mass. If we're going to sustain, Ruto must go. Whether it's Occupy, JKIA, or any other place that is public and that we can sustain our action, we can no longer push our children to the front line. And when I say that, I say children not because I'm patronizing them, because they're over the age of 18. They're adults. They know their minds. They know themselves. They're absolutely brilliant. I have spent time on the streets. I've been to most of the demonstrations, walked alongside them. They know exactly what they want. But when I say our children, I'm just creating that knowledge that we have pushed a certain group to the fore. We idealize them, we idolize them, we praise them, and then they're the ones who sleep in Central Police Station without food and with bruises all over their bodies. At some point, there will be no more bones to break, and this is what the regime is counting on. So we need to rise up en masse and say, we are all taking our country back. And if we can get to that point, then what we talk about around the single-mindedness of the mission, Ruto must go, we will then get there. Otherwise, they will pick us out, as they're already doing, and we'll be relegated to these spaces. So I just want everyone to be encouraged, those of us who are in Nairobi. I appreciate also the diaspora present space, the request for pathways, for support, financial and otherwise. Let us all pull together, because also the division, the diaspora versus those on the ground, what does that even mean? We are all Kenyans. We understand the Kenyan reality no matter where we live. So it's about the unification and the closing of ranks, even at this moment when the regime believes that it has, scattered us enough that we will not come back together again. And we need to be like that shoal of fish that is swimming in unison in the ocean. You do not know who the leader is and who the head, the tail is, but they will scatter, come back together, and keep moving single-mindedly until they arrive at their destination. And this is the encouragement I'd like to leave us with and say, we cannot lose hope. This is the moment not to let go. This is the moment where we say, actually, we have our mission, we know our ideals, and these are the strategies and the tactics that we will employ. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks, Gerotich. Hilary, were you saying something because there was an echo, or was that from Gerotich still?
No, it was not mine. I think everything is good now.
Okay. You want to say something, or shall I just proceed?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Gerotich, thanks so much. Where was the president today? Sorry, I've forgotten. Didn't he?
The president was in Bomet today.
Yeah, the moment you mentioned Bomet there, you disappeared for 2 seconds, so we couldn't hear you. Then we had you again. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I was just simply saying that when he was in Bomet, even though he was saying that enough is enough and we are coming down hard, I could also tell he went to a so-called safe space. But that space is not as safe as he imagines it is, because it is these same residents that stormed the governor's offices not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. So wherever he goes, the reception is not as robust or receptive as he would like it to be. So we should not be fooled when such pronouncements are made. The lukewarm response that he received indicates that revolution has seeped into every corner of this country. That's what I was trying to say.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your submission, and really for also coming on board to share with us, and for being on the ground to walk around with the.
Not even I can't.
Okay.
I don't know what is
Can
happening.
anyone hear me? Apart from...
I can hear you, Marge. I think the problem is with Hillary's mic.
Okay, but Hillary.
I can hear everybody, but I can't hear Marge. It means that Marge has a problem, but no worries.
Okay, I can try. Let me cue somebody else, then I try to drop and come back. Okay, so now the Rokio, and over to you. 2 minutes, please. Rokio, can you hear us?
Rokio Kari.
Then we go to Prof.
Rokio Kari, are you here? Maybe
there was an Honorable Nyeko.
Honorable Nyeko, go ahead. Then we go to our speakers again.
Prof.
Yes. Good evening, comrade. Am I clear?
Yes, proceed. Proceed,
Yeah.
please. We can hear you loud and clear.
Can you guys hear him? I cannot hear him.
Kingsman, who is speaking?
No, I'm not able to hear him.
Okay.
Thanks much.
You're welcome. So, Prof. Obert, kindly proceed. I think the speaker dropped. I cannot even see him. Prof, please proceed, and then Neto is going to be next.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. This is a beautiful space. I'll be following this. I want to really thank Muger and then Hillary, Kings, and everybody.
Okay, he dropped.
He has dropped as well, so I think Neto
Okay.
can go.
Thank you very much. First of all, Mike, thank you so much. Apologies. I think I logged in at 7:15, but for some strange reason, I was invisible until like 1.5 hours ago. My apologies. I did apologize for joining in late, but I was on then at 7:15. Second is I'd like to pass my condolences to the fallen comrades over the past couple of weeks. It's sad that we continuously lose people to a trigger happy regime, but I hope that Kenyans will be able to overcome. The third thing is I'd like to really thank Kenya's diaspora, for the support that you've been giving. I mean, I just listened to one of the speakers here